Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to be talking to you today. And this is episode 66. It's so wonderful that we've been together that many times. It has flown by for me. I would like to talk to you today, and maybe longer than today. It depends on what the divine holds for us next week. I would like to talk to you about lesson 128 in A Course in Miracles. And that lesson reads, "The world I see has nothing that I want." Now, this is such an important lesson because it goes against all of our lives. And yet, coming back to this lesson after being with the Course so many years and now being a practicer, if you will, a liver of non-duality, this lesson seems more important than ever. Now let's remember that the Course in Miracles has many, many levels. And that's because, it comes to us where we start. We start with the only problem is our belief in separation. We all were raised to believe we're solid bodies, different and separate from everyone else. And also, we're trained to believe that we need improvement, that we need to fix ourselves, and the way we're taught is to get more stuff, do more of what the world says, accomplish more, compete more, succeed more, get stronger, do more, get more, have stuff, and the promise is we'll be happy. And that has never worked. And yet we believe that the reason it hasn't worked is our own failure, our own unworthiness. If we just try harder, be more disciplined, make more effort, be more one-minded, and so on. We all know this. It's all of our teaching. Now, what does this lesson say? It says exactly what non-duality says. Our thoughts are not to be believed. Our feelings are not to be believed either. Our experiences are not to be believed either. The Course does a marvelous job in the beginning teaching us how our thoughts and our perceptions are a bunch of junk, crazy, insane, changeable. And it's not that you need better thoughts unless, the Course does say when you think with God, you're really thinking. And what does that really mean? That means that you're thinking with love. And these thoughts are truly not a problem. Yes, they don't need any of our personal help. When we're in the oneness, we actually stop thinking. We're not flooded with thoughts. We're certainly not repeating thoughts over and over in loops. It's like the release of thoughts. It's what a successful meditation brings us. Many forms of meditation take you to the idea that letting thoughts and feelings go is a successful meditation. Non-duality has you go right there, today, right now. It's the direct experience. But let's stay a little more with what the problem is, because I find that there are many people who leave the Course in Miracles because of this particular idea. And they hear things like the world is not real. And so they leave because they just can't get there. They say, I feel real. What's happening is real. People are dying in the Ukraine or whatever, wherever the place is. You know, there's racism, there's child molestation. Ask those people if it's real. They'll tell you it's real, right? And people just can't, you can't buy it. And I shouldn't say I hate, because I don't mean it that, it's just a form of speech. And I should watch my speech because words matter. What I want to say is sometimes it's the languaging or people who haven't gotten it yet that will say to someone else, well, the world isn't real. To me, that sounds like somebody who doesn't know it meaning embody it. So what does the Course mean? It just means that you can't trust your self-image. You can't trust who you think you are, a separate person. We know for ourselves that thoughts are changeable. When everything goes my way, I love the world, I'm in the flow, I feel like I'm being given a yes from God, which is out there, and I'm an object, and then there's God, and then there's two, or maybe there's three, because there's the Holy Spirit that's my intermediary between me and God. That's a whole lot of complication. What does it really mean that my self-image is what's not real? My self-image is that I'm a solid person, but the world, meaning life, is real. Life exists, but nothing that I think, say, believe, feel, even experience is what life really is. It's my interpretation. That's what can't be trusted, along with the personal self. Personal self is another way to describe self-image. My feelings, my thoughts matter in the sense of observing them and understanding what's their nature. Are they attack thoughts? Course has taught us we will hurt. We will hurt if we're attacking another, and there is only one. So who are we attacking? We're attacking ourselves. But if there's only one and there appear to be many, that's because my perceptions, there are many bodies, but our bodies are not who we are in essence. We are all like trees. Trees are not everything. They're like a wave in the ocean. They are part of the ocean. So if a wave thinks it's separate, or a tree thinks it's not connected to the other trees and it can do its own thing and it's its own universe, lots of luck. Trees are connected underneath the ground to everything, and so are we. And so is the wave in the ocean. So how do we get to the wave in the ocean? How does the wave get to know that they really are the ocean? How do we get to that is what I'm trying to say. Are you with me? I would love for you to be with me so that we can have an experience together. It really matters to me that you get what I'm talking about, because it could change the rest of your life. So let's do a little bit of a meditation, and then we'll look to some of what the Course says to back up what I'm saying. Take a deep breath, would you? And join me with wherever you've been before you started listening, or wherever you still are. Doesn't matter if what she's talking about, I don't get it, or I already know this. This is kindergarten and I'm graduate school. Just notice what your attitude is to what I'm saying. Just notice what you've come in today with. What's your baggage? How's your day been so far? What's your experience right now? Are you irritated? Are you curious? Are you judging me? Where am I? Are you evaluating how this fits in this video? Just notice. Don't change anything. Are you feeling peaceful and loving? Or is your mind going to a certain subject? I'm recording this right after Thanksgiving. Many people have started thinking now, oh God, what I ate at Thanksgiving. Or, oh no, the family had this and that problem at Thanksgiving. And now what about Christmas? Or anxiety about something. Most people ruminate. They have loops over and over about the same subjects. What's your subject? If you've had a physical problem, then you might be thinking about your physical problem rather than your typical subject, unless you have a continuing health problem. And I say problem in quotes because it's your perception. Things may be going on with your body, but your psychological experience depends on how you frame whatever's going on. So I know a man who's having an infected toe, and surely that hurts, it throbs. Surely he needs to do things and attend to it. But could this be the gift of his dropping everything in the world that was his to do, and instead going to the real he, his essence? And where is that? Is it outside with God? Is it inside with the Holy Spirit to get to God? But what if I am the embodiment of life? I am the one being. Can you go with me away from the world, away from your physical problem, away from your rumination, your looping thoughts and your looping feelings, and go with me. Go with me to what is it that knows, that notices. There's something that is not engaged with the thoughts and the feelings, that knows, that watches, that observes. It's below, it's beneath, it's behind. It's not part of the outside world. What if we didn't buy the thoughts? We could let them just come by. We don't have to try and control them or stop them. It's only our belief in them that makes them matter. It's only our belief in the feelings and thoughts that make the world unreal. The thoughts have no power on their own. Are you taking that in? The feelings have no power on their own. It's our belief in them that they're true that gives them the power. So, in that sense, we are responsible for our state, our experience in the world. This is a shopping time for many people. You buy some things, you don't buy others. Some of us can shop a year from home and we don't even have to go and get a new calendar at the store. We can order it online. But you buy one thing and you don't buy another. Many of us feel powerless. We believe we're powerless to choose our thoughts. I know that before my daughter Melissa died, I stopped a lifelong perseveration, meaning I went over it and over it, a lifelong judgment about her weight. It was really fear. But I feel so fortunate that I became 100% desirous of stopping my judgment of that weight, because truly my daughter and I fell in love. From having a mother who was judgmental. She said in the 6 months before she died, many times, she won the lottery to have me for a mom. And how was that? that was because I no longer chose to believe in a thought that would flutter by. It's not that I didn't ever have judgmental thoughts again. Of course I did. I was trained to believe that successful, happy people who have romantic life partners are slim and beautiful. And I wanted her to have everything. It also scared me because I was obese when I was a child. These are not defenses. These are just like, of course. You can say, of course, because of your conditioning to any of your thoughts and any of your feelings. But that doesn't mean you still need to buy them when they flash by. You can say, oh, that's what I'm not buying anymore. We're always choosing when we're even online buying, I'll take this one instead of that one. But we're the choosers of our thoughts. Non-duality would take you off the hook there and say thoughts and feelings are from the beyond, they're from the outer world, they're from wherever. And since there's no personal self, it's all of God. If that soothes you and frees you, more importantly, frees you, if you feel more free to feel like it's not your thought and you're not a chooser, go with that. If you're still feeling like a separate self enough that it feels empowering to choose, then choose. Choose not to buy that thought. You're wherever you are today. Welcome that. Welcome that spot, because it's by acknowledging where we really are that we will find freedom and release. So now I'm not going to speak for a minute. Let's step back into the space that watches whatever your state is. That observer is not a person, right? It has no shape, it has no solidity, it has no looks. It's just somehow there, right? Now, there's a kind of observer that's still part of the outer world that says, you're doing well, you did this, great, you didn't do that. Oh, this is further back. This is just the one who knows that I'm speaking and you're not. Who knows what you've been processing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're listening. Are there any limits to this observer? Does it have an edge? What are its restrictions? Are there any? Might this be your I am that you've been looking for out in the world? Your essence, your unlimited, powerful self. What if we've been looking in the wrong place? And this is divinity in your nature, not your actions, not your thoughts, not your feelings, just your nature, like it is in a newborn baby. Newborn babies are worthy. Most people agree. That's you. Nothing that you've ever thought or done can take away your essence. If you did stuff that the world says is wrong or bad, you'll play for it in the world's terms. But this is your underneath, your essence, not your self-image. There are no good ones and bad ones. We're all visiting the same place, a space-like place, but it's not like a space that's limited by walls. We can break out into the room. We can break out from our body. Our bodies are only temporary barriers to the space outside in the room, which is the same as the space out in the world. Oneness is what we are. Now, if you come back into the room with me, and I'm hoping and assuming that you're in the same kind of energy that I am, where you're more relaxed. And I'm going to remind you of what lesson 128 says. Each thing you value here is but a chain that binds you to the world. And it will serve no other end but this, where everything must serve the purpose you have given it until you see a different purpose there. The only purpose worthy of your mind this world contains is that you pass it by without delaying to perceive some hope where there is none. Be you deceived no more. The world you see has nothing that you want. And I am so hoping and wishing that Spirit allows us to continue with this lesson and the next one, which is beyond this world, there is a world I want. And that I encourage you this week, if you have a pause of a few seconds from your thoughts and feelings, just go to that observer that we went to. What is it that knows you are having this thought? What is it that's having this feeling? What is it that knows you're having this feeling? Not what is it that has this feeling, because that's the separate self. That's the self-image. That's the separate person that A Course in Miracles says is your only problem. A belief in that. The Course never says you're not alive. So that's a mistake many of us make because we don't want to really go there. But what if today you make a decision like I did to no longer worry about Melissa? Now, it really, from the non-dual, wasn't a separate self that made that decision. The non-dual would say, I was graced with that happening, that I stopped buying judgment and worry. Whichever way you see it, today can be your salvation and your freedom. Namaste, and thank you for joining me. Bless you. Bye-bye. See you next time.